Hey, what's up guys? Pastor Gaming here, bringing you top tier StarCraft action. And today we have a very exciting matchup as we have down here in the bottom position, PSISTORM Communities Deity. If you guys know the Banshee Tournament, you know that she does quite well in them, making a name for herself in that regard. And her opponent, up here in the top position of Kairos Junction, it is PSISTORM Communities MyLifeFrAiur. That is right, it is not the famous mod Surdokin, it is an imposter, but it is an imposter in good faith, and a really good member of the team as well. Today we have what looks to be a bit of a proxy factory build, going to be heading up over here. So already MyLifeFrAiur are going to start this off with a bang. So while he is getting that all prepped and ready, just to let you guys know, this is from the PSISTORM Community In-House Tournament Cup, open to all members of the PSISTORM community team. And if you want to be a part of that team, we have an open Discord server now. So if you want, it'll be in the description below. And if you join that up, you'll get some excellent things, just like these in-house tournaments, clan wars, as well as fight. Just great group of guys that you can honestly learn a lot from overall. Now, actually, it is not a factory here. It's going to be 3 racks Reaper, all in different locations. So Deity will have a very hard time scouting this out, but she does get into the main base and sees that there is no natural. She sees... Actually, she did not see that there was a second gas, so she has to be very careful here because she does not know how committed to the push Aiur is at this point. She is going to be scouting around. She knows that Aiur is a bit of a tricky guy and does not want to get caught too far off guard with any of this. The SV even coming in trying to lay that factory for as long as possible. That will get taken out. That is the first casualty of a war. And here we go, 3 Reapers at a time. Deity is going to just put her starport in the top position of the map to try and get some damage done against Aiur, but she will have to be very careful during all of this. Needs to wait for those Hellions, needs to get a couple more Reapers out, and all Aiur has to do is prevent these Reapers from dying. One does go down, however, that makes this push a lot weaker and gives a lot of time to Deity to get back into this game, even losing the second one here, so it's not looking good for our blue Terran player. The starport coming across the map as well, so it is almost complete. Now she'll be able to make a Liberator, and that's pretty much going to be it for this game. There's just a bit too much on the defense here, and it is hidden quite sneakily to allow those Reapers to come up onto the ramp. And they're going to get 1 SCV, but that is pretty much where their reign of terror is going to end. They get out of there just barely with their lives. But the push is pretty much over here, and there is no way for Aiur to get out of this, as 3 racks is pretty much the most aggressive you can be, and it's just way too difficult to transition out of it, especially when your opponent already has starport, already has that second CC on the way. So we'll have to see what Aiur decides to do in this situation. Looks like he's just right now going to be keeping these scattered around, but he will see this big push coming out, and he knows that it's going to be very difficult to stop. His whole strategy right now relies on keeping his opponent at home, and yeah, all those Reapers going down. GG is gonna be called, and game number 1 of this best of 3 series goes to Deity. Nice and quick. So hope you guys enjoyed that game, and we'll see you in the next one. It's time for game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. So spawning down here in the bottom position, it is PSISTORM Communities Deity. And her opponent. In the top, it is still PSISTORM Communities MyLifeFrAiur. So this is, just to remind everyone, game number 2 of a best of 3 series. Deity took game number 1. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and pause this video, put that other one up in a new tab, and check that one out. It's nice and quick for you, so you won't miss too much. You won't have to wait too long for this game. But right now, we do have some tricky positionings here coming out of MyLifeFrAiur. We saw he went very all in that last game, but this time he looks to be playing it a bit more standard, just kind of hiding his tech a little bit, making it a bit more difficult for Deity to scout. So we'll have to see when she does decide to move on out with an SCV. Looks like she is going to be going at the standard 17 timing, so she will be able to get a good read on all of this. And while they are getting a good read on this, just letting you guys know once again, we have a public server for the PSISTORM community team. So if you want to check that out, links will be in the description below, and you'll get a bunch of amazing perks for joining the team. You know, we're always looking for people at all skill levels to join, because we have in-house tournaments, we have clan wars, we have so many different things for you guys to participate in. It's a really fun server, a bunch of active individuals, and just a great place to come, chill, hang out, and find a game or two. Both sides gonna be mirroring each other a little bit here. Iur actually going to be a little bit cheeky, throwing down a supply depot to prevent that reactor from going up. Just wants to put a little bit of the hurt on his opponent, kind of delay some timings that she was thinking of, and he's looking at it pretty hard. So now it will have to be a little bit of a change up, going for that Marine rather than reactoring him out as quickly. Just kind of small things, which at pretty much any level can mean the end of the game if you're not careful. Now Iur, once again, playing it very defensively here. He was not able to break Deity last game, so he's going to have to assume that Deity is going to be aggressive in this one to kind of get back at him for his transgressions. But she is a benevolent ruler, a benevolent queen, so she does not want to go into the violence just yet. She's instead just going to give her opponent a lot of space, and Iur, I really gotta respect that from Iur. He is not going to try and do what he did last game, although his starport is very delayed here. As you can kind of see, he has no starport, which kind of is interesting, as the starport for Deity has been done for about a couple of seconds now. So a bit delayed in all of this. We'll have to see how it affects him in the later stages of the game. Bit hesitant, finding out on what she wants to do. Decides that it's just easier to recycle and reuse those tech labs. Probably going to be another standard Raven opening. Those are the most common these days in TVT. Makes it very good for those earlier pushes when you can just move out with a little bit of Raven energy and allow your tanks to get into a good position by making sure that the other opponent's tanks cannot fire. So always good for those kind of pushes. And we do see both sides just kind of powering up in the background. Not really working too hard to get into their opponent's base, but Deity makes the first move here, looking to kind of just get any scouting information she can. And instead is going to just find the information that there is a cyclone wrecking face. Is actually going to come on home. That was a bit of a misrally there, I believe. But now Sudoku does actually, pardon me, like the name is really messing me up here, but this is MyLifeFrAiur, who is going to scout out that Raven heading across the map. So actually Deity going to be using this for a bit of an aggressive pressure on his opponent's natural. There really isn't that much here to defend against it. He does have a couple of Hellions in position for when those auto turrets drop, but this is very interesting out of Deity. So we'll have to see how many SCVs go down. So far, none, as it is target firing the Hellions. That's kind of nice damage anyway. But we'll get 1 or 2 SCVs here. It's just going to try and get 1 more before timing out, but it does not get it. So in that attack, losing 2 SCVs for just Raven energy is pretty nice. Although MyLifeFrAiur is going to be looking for that Raven to get revenge on it. Now we do see that this is going to be mech. Fra'iur is a big proponent of mech style play. He loves it to death, and I don't think I've ever seen him play bio actually. So Deity, did she get a scout of the fact that it is mech? And she has indeed. That is the first step in defeating it. The next step, work towards getting that air control, as well as just being able to hit your opponent as many times as you need to, and just kind of trade out for those more expensive units. But it will be bio versus mech here. First little Hellion run by, it's going to get 1 CV, but it does get taken out. Deity just playing it kind of cautiously, keeping her units at home right now. Powering up, getting ready for the big push. Problem is, the longer this goes on, the better it is for the meching player, as they will have a very high siege tank count, as well as a lot to defend said siege tanks. No upgrades just yet coming out from our meching Terran, but that is a bit of a non-issue here, as you can kind of delay those for a little bit once your opponent is going for bio, just because your units do have a lot of splash damage, a lot of potential to do damage, and just denying some mining time as well is pretty darn nice, as he does have his 3rd base up and running. Same with Deity. Scan gonna go down, trying to find out where the army is. Actually looking for that 3rd base as well. But Deity actually gonna be moving out here. Has to be very cautious with this attack. The Hellion gonna scout all of this, so she knows that he knows that he has to siege up, and all he has to do is push this back for right now. It's not a very committed push, but it can do some damage if you're not sieged. Vikings going to come in, and does look like Deity is going to be committing to this push now. It was kind of just a little bit of harassment. Now it is full on attack. Fra'iur does get a good scout off of all of this, but will he be in position? So far he has no sieging units, and those Ravens doing a fantastic job of getting a couple of those siege tanks. This engagement is going very good for Deity right now. Those siege tank shots, however, are starting to turn the tide, although there is just not enough tank fire here to finish the job. Those units battered and bruised, they still have way more health than they need to. Those medevacs healing everything up, and now it's just coming down to these siege tanks trying to be the heroes, trying to kill off these marauders, but the marauders just straight on top of everything. SCVs starting to fall, and Fra'iur is starting to fall apart here himself. It is not looking good for him. He's going to have to really rely on that defensive push. Might even have to deny this base, get rid of it for the time being, and just kind of defend off of 2 bases, because he's not really going to be able to defend that position too well. Deity did take a lot of damage with those attacks, so she does have to back off for the moment. Medevacs running low on energy, and the Vikings not really in any numbers to consider here. Scan gonna go down. Sees that there is no Hellions with this army, so she is just gonna drop on top of everything, take out the tanks, and she is looking to close this game out ASAP. She does not want to stay in this for too long and give Aiur the chance to get up to that very powerful mech ball. And so far it seems to be working for her. She keeps resetting that tank count very hard. And that's really all she does need to do. That Marauder count is nice and healthy at this time, and she just keeps sending units across the map to reinforce. Take a look at this army supply. Currently 37 to 76. So Aiur is going to have to really fight his way back into this one. Already going for those air upgrades. A couple of liberators as well, feels confident enough to do so. And even getting that 4th and 5th base nice and started up. Scan once again sees that the entire army is down here at the 3rd base, and Aiur's starting to slip up a little bit. He's currently not sieged. He doesn't really have the army to speak of that he needs, and he just keeps getting reset, like I said. Trying to go for that 4th base, but that's just another front that you're going to have to defend, and honestly, I don't really know how he intends to do so with everything across the map for Deity. Scans all around. The Vikings going to look to take out that Liberator. They do so, but that is still a very scary army, and air control has been fully taken command of, even picking off the units as they stream out. But Deity does not want to jump on this just yet, being very cautious. Knows that one bad engagement will turn the tide of this game for the worse for her. And she's just getting ready for that one decisive push, rather than trying to kill her opponent in a death by 1,000 cuts. A bunch of units start to move in there, but they do get some really nice shots off. Overall, though, this army is looking very scary still for Deity, and we'll have to see how much it gets done. This position is now going to have to be forfeit for Aiur. He has no way to defend these tanks. And honestly, at this point, I think Deity could even just go into the main base, and it does look like she has that same idea as the tanks start to fall in the back. The Thor is going to be trying to help out here, but the entire production is gonna be under fire here in just a couple minutes. Even just killing the 4th base is so nice. So these Hellions not gonna get over there in time for the pickup. Moving up on all fronts. The Liberated Fire is just very overpowering. One Thor goes down to it, and the gas starting to fall. 4th base down as well, so all of this is looking to be just the end of this game. Aiur fighting valiantly, but he has been defeated. GG. Deity takes the series 2-0. And you know what that means, guys. It is the next series in this pool, so I can't wait to show those to you. If you want to check out the Discord as well as everything else, all available links will be in the description below. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.